What is up guys, Bricks here, back with week 12 of Building Minas Tirith in Lego. In this week's segment we're going to do a bit of the rock work as well as try finish off the dining room and the other room on top. Without further ado, make sure to please drop a like and subscribe as it really does help out the channel, and we'll get right into the update. Starting off this week's segment, as you can see, a package from Bricklink has arrived, so I'm going to get right into opening up that. As you can see in there, I picked up a bunch of these 10 by 20 bricks. I feel like I've used at least 1,000 of these, but obviously I'm keep on buying more and more. These are actually for a different use this time. These are for the rock work that I'll be starting this week to go on the side like that, if that makes sense. So like loads of them. Just for, instead of using plate, I can use these because these are so much cheaper. And also in there I picked up a load of 1x1 bricks because again I'm always ordering these, but I was completely out. Some 1x1 plates and some hinge plates, as well as some 1x2 plates in there as well. Then my mum did actually open this one already, but this is another one from Bricklink as well. As you can see in there we have some more 10 by 20 bricks. So that is 20 there that I've ordered. Then I got another 2 of these 8 by 16 bricks as well, and then I just got these smaller bricks too for the rock work. I believe I need 2 for each side if I worked it out correctly. But that is everything there. Starting off this week's segment, we're going to be making a lot of progress hopefully up here on the top half of Minas Tirith. Last week I didn't showcase this piece, but this is just a little one of the side buildings off to the side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of scale down this whole area, which is a shame, but it's at the very top at conventions and stuff, people aren't going to see it, and I've still incorporated as much of it as I can. What I did was also move these walls kind of out so then the rock work kind of comes in. I noticed that looking at some references as well. I'm going to basically work on this palace area here, so we're going to have the square kind of tower here, and then that will be coming up, and then obviously we remove this section and some of this, and we'll have the other kind of similar to that coming out here, and then a tower basically going from there all the way up, which is accurate to the film. So without further ado, I'm going to get right into that. As you can see, with this section finished, I just need to add on basically some more of those all the way across the top with a little bit on the end. But I'm really liking how that is looking. I think I've pretty much captured it the best I can. I'll put a picture on screen. As you can see, this is my reference. It's a little bit off, but I think it does it justice and it looks good. That's the main thing. With all the half a stud offsets and stuff like that, just adds that little bit of detail. Went for a sand green and a tiny bit of a dark bluish grey on the door. As you can see, with the top bit added in, I like how that looks as well. Obviously I'll have the same roof design as I did on that one there last week, so it's just gonna tie everything in. Obviously I'm gonna try do it have the roof going that way, if that makes sense, so the stud will be facing this way. So I'll do it that height and then that height down there. So I've quickly added that piece on up there, and I think that looks really good actually. I'm sorry it's not great lighting, but it is really high, like a high piece. I didn't I expected it to be it, but at the same time I kind of expected it to be half the size of what it is. But it just means that Minas Tirith is a little bit higher. See, with that basically done, I think that looks great. I'm happy with how that has turned out. Obviously the roof will need to be in fully light bluish grey, but I'm just using them kind of like hinge bricks and plates as I've done with basically the rest of Minas Tirith, and then I've got these on the end, but nonetheless I really like how that looks. So while I take a bit of a break from up there, I decided to work a little bit on the rock work. So I already had this bottom bit to here, but I've just added this layer on. I think I'm going to go to about that height, maybe there. So I'd say another brick potentially, so it's all nice and level along the top of there. And then I'll do the next piece, which will be obviously at the same angle still, maybe a little bit steeper if I can. With that section on, I'll put it on properly when I get a little bit closer. But I think if we can imagine that being the dark grey colour, I think that looks super sick. Next job is to start applying all of these bricks onto here up the side, so I'll have a nice kind of width as well, which should be good. As you can see, we have all those bricks on there. That is pretty much well finished for filler, I'd say. I might bring these 3, sorry, well the 3 on the other side, up by a plate, so run some just 2x2 round, if that makes sense. As you can see, with one side done and a little bit of the tiling, I managed to get all of the wedge plates on there. I do have some spare, which is good, but probably not enough really to do the next section on top of this. Probably be about this height, so almost the same again. It's a little bit shorter. As you can see, that is that side done. Happy with how that looks. Not so sure on this, but it does match that, so that's not too bad. So that is pretty much both sides done. I won't have enough to do the next bit, but I do have a good amount of the lefts, but however the rights aren't looking great. But now on to tiling. I'm going to have the two bricks coming off there, and I'm going to have one of these big 8x16 tiles along the middle of there to hold that on. I'm having a bit of a climb on my table, and I managed to get this bit of rock connected. It's super kind of dodgy, I suppose, till I turn this back round fully. But I've basically done all my little measurements here of where everything is. So I need to go out another 6 studs above that tile there, and then this piece of wall actually slips in behind there, like so. Like I've done on this one, further down here, I'm going to have another archway that'll be there, as well as one in here, but I'll build them two separately. As you can see, with that done, I think that looks really good. So you can imagine the little arches in there, as well as the castle walls kind of coming around here, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and get the other side done, and that should pretty much wrap it up for this week's segment. So unfortunately, that pretty much wraps it up for this week's segment. I'm happy with the progress I was able to get done. That rock work is definitely going to be a task for next week as well. And I'm happy with how the dining room and dining table is looking. So without further ado, make sure to please drop a like and subscribe, as it really does help out the channel. And I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, guys.